I'm 94 years old. Last Tuesday I buried my son. He was 68. I shouldn't have to bury my child. No parent should. But here I am, standing at his grave, 94 years old, outliving the person I brought into this world. And you know what the worst part is? It wasn't sudden, it wasn't a car accident, it wasn't a heart attack. He killed himself slowly. Over 30 years. And I wish the whole thing happened. My son died from a life he never actually lived. And before I go, and I will go soon, I need to tell you what I learned watching him waste every single day he had. Because I see you doing the exact same thing. Let me tell you about Robert, my son, born 1958. March 12th, 7:23 in the morning. I remember every detail because it was the happiest day of my life. Smart kid, curious, always asking questions, always building things, could fix anything with his hands. When he was 10, he told me he wanted to be an architect, drew buildings all the time, had notebooks full of designs. I told him, that's nice, son, but you need a stable career, something practical. So he became an accountant, hated every single day of it. 42 years sitting in a cubicle, looking at spreadsheets, dying inside. He told me once, about 10 years ago, Dad, I wake up every morning and dread going to work. I've dreaded it for 40 years. I said, that's life, Robert. That's what being an adult is. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Robert retired 3 years ago. Finally, after 42 years of misery, he had plans, big plans. He was going to travel. He was going to take that architecture class he always wanted. He was going to learn to paint. He was going to live. He got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer 6 months after he retired. Gone in 8 months. I stood there at his funeral, looking at his casket, and I realized something that broke me completely. My son spent 42 years preparing to live, and then he died before he started. He delayed everything. Everything. When I retire, when I have time, when I have money saved, when things settle down. When? There is no when, there's only now. And he ran out of now. At his house after the funeral, I found something that destroyed me. In his desk drawer, a folder labeled Someday. Inside were brochures, travel brochures. Italy, Greece, Japan, places he wanted to go, never went. Art class schedules from the community college, highlighted, never attended. A list, handwritten, things to do when I retire. 23 items. He does zero. I sat there holding that folder and I cried, really cried, for the first time since my wife died, because I realized I told him that. I told him to wait. I told him that dreams aren't practical. I told him that you do your duty first, and if there's time left over, maybe then you live. There was no time left over. Now you're watching this and you're thinking, that's tragic, but what does this have to do with me? Everything. It has everything to do with you, because you're doing it right now, right this second. You're delaying your life. You're waiting for permission that's never coming. You're waiting for the perfect time that doesn't exist. You're waiting for retirement, for the kids to grow up, for the mortgage to be paid off, for things to calm down. And while you wait, your life is happening, and you're missing it. Robert worked a job he hated for 42 years because I told him to be practical, because society told him to be responsible, because everyone said that's just how it is. And what did he get for it? 8 months 8 months of retirement before cancer took him. Was it worth it? 42 years of misery for 8 months of freedom. No. Hell no. Let me tell you what else I found. In his office, a letter addressed to me. He'd written it but never sent it. He said, "Dad, I'm 63 years old and I hate my life. I've hated it for as long as I can remember. But I'm stuck. The mortgage isn't paid off. I need the health insurance. I need the pension. Just 5 more years. Then I'd be free. Then I'd finally live." 5 more years became 3 more years, became 8 more months, became dead. I read that letter and I wanted to scream because he wasn't stuck. He was scared. Scared of what people would think if he quit. Scared of financial uncertainty. Scared of disappointing me. Scared of being irresponsible. So he stayed in a job that was killing him for 42 years. And now he's gone. And all that practicality, all that responsibility, all that waiting, it's buried with him. Here's what I need you to understand. Life is not a dress rehearsal. You don't get a practice round. This is it, the only one you get. And most of you are living like you have unlimited time, like there's going to be a second act where you'll finally do what you actually want to do. There isn't. Robert's someday never came. And yours might not either. So here's what I learned, standing at my son's grave at 94 years old. Number one, the responsibility choice is often the coward's choice. We use responsibility as an excuse to avoid risk, to avoid discomfort, to avoid living. Robert stayed in a job he hated because it was responsible. He had a mortgage. He had bills. He had obligations. But you know what? He could have sold the house. He could have downsized. He could have lived cheaper and worked less and actually enjoyed his life. But that felt irresponsible. That felt reckless. So he suffered for 42 years. Responsibly. Stop hiding behind responsibility. Sometimes the most responsible thing you can do is quit the job that's killing you. Number two, someday is a lie you tell yourself to avoid acting today. That folder, someday. That word is poison. Someday I'll travel. Someday I'll write the book. Someday I'll write the book. Someday I'll start the business. Someday I'll tell them I love them. Someday I'll apologize. Someday I'll live. Someday I'll live. Someday never comes. It's always just out of reach. Always next year. Always after this one last thing. Stop saying someday. Start saying today. Or admit you're never going to do it. And stop torturing yourself with the fantasy. Number three, your kids are watching you waste your life. And they're learning to waste theirs. I told Robert to be practical. To ignore his dreams. To wait for retirement, and he did exactly what I taught him, and it killed him. What are you teaching your kids right now? That work is misery, but you do it anyway? That dreams are nice but impractical? That you should sacrifice your happiness for security? They're watching, and they're learning, and they will repeat your mistakes. Stop teaching them to wait. Show them how to live, now, today. Number four, nobody cares about your sacrifice except you. Robert sacrificed for 42 years. For what? For whom? His company? They replaced him in 3 weeks. Didn't even send flowers to his funeral. His clients, they moved on. Don't even remember his name. Society doesn't give a damn if you're happy or miserable as long as you pay your taxes. The only person who cared about his sacrifice was him, and all it got him was regret. Your sacrifice is not noble. It's not admirable. It's just sad. Number five, the deathbed perspective is the only one that matters. When Robert was dying in his final weeks, do you know what he talked about? Not his career, not his accomplishments, not the 42 years of hard work. He talked about the things he didn't do, the places he didn't go, the art classes he didn't take, the buildings he didn't design. He died with regret, deep, heavy, crushing regret. And the tragedy is, it was all preventable, every bit of it. He had choices. We all have choices. He chose safety. He chose delay. He chose someday, and someday never came. Number 6, you're not going to make it to retirement. I know that's harsh, but statistically a lot of you won't. Cancer, heart attack, accident, stroke, aneurysm, it happens every single day. To people who are planning for later, Robert planned for retirement for 42 years, cut 8 months. Your retirement plan might be a fantasy. You might not make it. Are you willing to bet your entire life on maybe later? Number 7, if you hate it, stop. Simple. Brutally simple. If you hate your job, quit. If you hate your city, move. If you hate your situation, change it. But I can't. Yes, you can. You just don't want to deal with the discomfort of change. Robert could have quit any time. Any year of those 42 years, he chose not to. And now he's dead, and his choice killed him. Stop choosing misery because it's familiar. Choose uncertainty. Choose risk. Choose life. I'm 94 years old. I've made a lot of mistakes, but the biggest one was teaching my son to wait. And now I'm standing here, outliving him, carrying the weight of knowing I contributed to his wasted life. Don't wait. Please, don't make your parents bury you with a folder labeled someday. Do it now. Book the trip. Take the class. Start the business. Quit the job. Tell the person. Make the change. Because I'm telling you, from the other side of the grave, watching my son buried before me, there is no later. There's only now. And Robert ran out of now. And you will too. Robert's funeral was last Tuesday. I'm 94. I don't have much time left. But I have enough time to tell you, stop waiting. Your someday is today, or it's never. I'm going to visit his grave now. Go do the thing you've been putting off.